there, YouTube. I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Squint from Out of the Box Games. This is for 3 to 8 players, ages 12 to adult, take about 25 to 35 minutes to play, I'd say, around there. And in Squint, you're going to be using a whole bunch of tiles that will look like these ones, and you're going to be trying to create an object. You're going to be trying to make this object by placing the tiles together, by moving the tiles, by shaking the tiles, by pointing the tiles, by shoving your foot on the table, as I'm about to do in the middle part, to the tiles, by doing a whole variety of different things to the tiles, with the hopes that someone will guess what your object is. If they guess what it is, both of you get points, and you're going to do that, and eventually someone's going to have the most points. Whoever has the most points will win the game. And so it's a light, simple party game, but is it good? Let's open it up, and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Squint. So first and foremost, we have a handy dandy rule sheet. It's really just this right here, one big page, single-sided. It's got pictures, illustrations, examples, very well done. The back really just has different variations and tips you might need. So this is all you're going to need right here, and it's pretty well done. So in Squint, what you're going to be doing is you are going to be using all the different shapes out here. Not all of them at the same time, but the different ones that you want to utilize in order to create pictures that other people will try to guess what they are. So I made right here, I don't know, maybe this is like a toilet plunger. And you also can move these as, or not a toilet plunger, the toilet thing. You can also move these or point to these or do different things with these to help people try and figure out what you're making. If people are able to guess what you're making, then that person will gain points and you will gain points. If not, no one will gain points. Let's go over the components. Let's get into the gameplay. So first we have all these different tiles out here. They actually recommend that you spread them all out so everyone can see all the different tiles, especially the person that is building. But for camera purposes, we can't do that. Next, we got the chips right here. You're going to try to get the most chips over X number of rounds, and the number of rounds depends on how many players you have. At lower player counts, you'll play more rounds. At higher player counts, you'll play less rounds. Typical party game stuff right there. But only the person who guesses correctly and the person who is able to create and have someone guess is the one who's going to get points on a turn. Next, you're going to have the sand timer. That's how much time you will have to make people guess what you're creating. And then, of course, we have the cards, and more cards. It comes this nice plastic little tray, which is pretty cool. And what's going to happen is, at the beginning of the game, you're going to decide which side of the card you're using. They're both equal. And then you're going to roll a dice to see, boom, which one you're going to make. So right now, I would be trying to make socks. So I put this down, flip the sand timer, and let's see if I can do it. So this kind of looks like the bottom of it. And, oh my gosh, this is, so there's this part, and there's that part. And then we got, yeah, it's the circle itself. Boom. There you go. Then maybe, to really seal the deal, I might even just put my foot on it. I'd be like, here we go. Here we go. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? So he'd be like, oh, it's a sock. And I'd be like, yeah, baby, it's a sock. So they would get 1 point and I would get 1 point. And then the next person would go, you put the card all the way at the back, and you would rinse, wash, and repeat until you finished as many rounds as you have, as it says in the rules. And whoever has the most points at the end will be the winner of Squint. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alrighty then, Squint from Out of the Box Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. It's very light, simple party game with no strategy whatsoever. It's just, hey, I'm going to try to make a convincing looking picture of something as fast as I can using these pieces. Yes, there's strategy to which pieces you're going to use in which situations, but other than that, it's just make stuff fast and make it look good. Another comment out of this game, and it is a party game, so it's very light, very simple, but another trope a lot of party games have is it plays best at the higher player count. Why, you ask? Because then it's much more likely that people are going to guess what random creation you are trying to make. Because while 2 or 3 or 4 people might be like, what in the world are you making? Somebody else is just like, oh, that clearly is a jackhammer. And when you have the higher player counts, you're more likely to encounter that. One big issue that I have with this game, probably my biggest personal issue with this game, is the fact that the sand timer is just not long enough. It is really stinking difficult, especially if you're looking at this as a game to play with younger kids. And I don't mean like 6, 7, 8 years old. So I played this game, and I played it with adults, and I enjoyed it. And then, okay, this is good. It's fun. Bring it to my classroom. Kids are going to love this. I thought this was going to be a great family game. That's what my expectations were. I played it twice with adults. I was going to bring it into class. It was going to go nuts, and the kids were going to keep this in class forever. Played it with some 10 and 11-year-olds. It did not go over well. they all just were running out of time each and every time. And it's not because the game's difficult or complex. They've played games that mechanically are meatier and heavier than this game. It's just they did not have time for some reason to make the pieces into what they wanted to do. Now, adults also had this issue as well. And there were some adults who barely got any points from creating. And that will happen quite frequently as well. But with the kids, it was even worse. And so we had to house rule it to make it so that you could flip the sand timer twice. And that made the game a lot more fun. But still, yeah, I felt like that was kind of odd. Any other cons that I have in the game? Does take up a good deal of table space. That's something that you're going to need to know, because the best way to play it, and they say in the rules, and I would also recommend it, is to have all the tiles spread out so you're going to be able to see everything, because then it's going to make it way easier for you to create. But then you're also going to need to have a chunk of table devoted to yourself where you're going to be able to create, and so is somebody else, and so is everybody else. So this is going to take up a great deal of table space if you're going to play it at the optimal way to play it. If you have a smaller table, this one is actually probably going to be kind of hard to pull off in the best possible way. But that's what I got on the con side. Moving on to the pro side, Squint's fun. I think it's good. I think it's a good game. I think it's a better game if you house rule it and do the timer flip. But I'm not here to judge and review house rules. I'm here to review the game as it is in the box. And as it is in the box, it's good. I'd give it about a 7. I think with the house rule, I'd say it's about a 7.4, 7.5. I think it gets into the almost very good category because it's a really fun game, especially when you have time to create things, because that creation part is really cool, and you're going to be patting yourself on the back. And both times I played it with adults, someone in the game inevitably was so proud of one of their little creations they made that they took a picture of it, because it's really neat to take this whole bunch of nothing and then create something in a confined time limit, and then have someone else be on the same wavelength and be like, oh, that's a Christmas hat. And be like, yeah, that is a Christmas hat. And everybody else is like, what? And they're like, oh, I see it now. And that's fun, and that's the main aspect of this game. It has a lot of cards. It has a cool little insert where you're going to be able to hold the cards, which is nice. I like the green and blue sand timer. It looks really cool. It's a dumb thing, but it looks cool. I like the point chips. I like how small the box is, the good box insert. And it's easy to learn. It's easy to teach, which is super important when it comes to a party game. And in the end, Squint is a good game. Is it a great game? No, it's not. But it's a good, mindless, fun game. And if you're in the market for a game like this, if you routinely play a good deal of party games, this one might be for you. Also, it says 3 to 8 players. I don't see why you couldn't squeeze in, say, 10 to 12 players, as long as you realize that your time between turns is going to be pretty substantial. But part of the fun is just guessing. And so I enjoyed that guessing aspect. So in the end, Squint, I like it. I think it's a good game. Is it one that I'm going to keep? Probably not, just because it doesn't cross over to the family market as well as I would like it to, and I have a variety of other party games. And this isn't really the kind of party game that I get into too much. I thought it was fun, but I'm much more likely to bust out an adult party game or more of a gamey party game, like a Resistance style game, than this, but still one that I think you might enjoy if it looks like it might be your cup of tea. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know, do you have any memorable moments with penguins? For me personally, they used to, at my zoo, I used to be able to actually get the penguins to come right up to the gate, and I would pet a penguin. And all you had to do was, jiggle your keys on the gate for some reason. They've since built, this little trench, this moat, to stop people from doing that. So there's, water right by the gate, and the penguins won't come out of the water to come up the gate anymore, so I can't pet the penguins anymore, which stinks. But that's my most memorable moment with a penguin. Let me know in the comments below if you have one. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.